ladies and gentlemen, obviously since we're talking about it, a gavel in on the Save America Act. This has to happen. And so I anticipate that the president is going to be on this issue. Axios is now claiming that that is something he'll push this Thursday. The president wants to pass the Save America Act. They describe it as a strict voter ID law that stalled in Congress. I would call it a sensible voter ID law, a necessary voter ID law, a valuable, wonderful voter ID law. You know, I was on with I was on the Newsmax channel last night with Rob Finnerty. For any of you who watch Newsmax, perhaps you saw me showing up there. And Finnerty raised, I thought, a really smart point. You know, back after John F. Kennedy's assassination, his untimely demise. Remember, JFK was pushing the Civil Rights Act, and when LBJ comes into office, he makes it his priority to continue JFK's push and get it done quickly. And they do get it done relatively quickly. Now, this was in the face of a lot of Democrat opposition. It took a mighty filibuster. You noticing any parallels? It took a mighty filibuster. Republicans were the reason that the Civil Rights Act ends up getting passed. And it becomes law in a pretty rapid way as LBJ says, I'm going to do this to honor JFK. Okay? So Finnerty brought up the parallels here because he goes, wait a second. Lyndsey Graham just passed away. Lyndsey Graham's final push was for the Save America Act. What better way to honor him than to have an epic push for the Save America Act right now and to actually achieve it, very much like the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. It can be done again, and it should be done again. And I told Rob what I've told you before, which is the Save America Act is the Civil Rights Act of our time. It is the most important civil rights legislation to be contemplated by Congress this century. It's beautiful. Why? Because it protects the voting franchise. We've heard for years that voting rights are civil rights. It's true. Protecting American citizens and their vote is of paramount importance. In fact, it comes before everything else. It does in American politics. It doesn't obviously come before God and family, but the point I'm making is when it comes to our American political system, our constitutional republic, credible elections are the singular most important thing. Most important thing. Because everything else derives from whether or not you have trust that our elections are being conducted fairly and that your vote is being well protected. This is why we need the Save America Act. I don't want to see any American voter disenfranchised. I don't want to see your vote watered down. I don't want to see it stolen. I don't want to see people come in and supplant the American citizen in terms of making decisions about the American system. So that's why we need the Save America Act. It is civil rights legislation. So Congress should take it up today and pass it to honor the life of Lyndsey Graham, use that as a perfectly good predicate to do this, his dying wish that we get the Save America Act passed. And the most important thing is to respect the American people. That's what it's about. So the push should be underway right now. And the president is expected to speak on Thursday. Would not be surprised if he talks about Lyndsey Graham, the Save America Act, and why it needs to be done now.